Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I got a real interesting clip to go over. This is a woman who recorded her 3 children, and this is what children are growing up in. And this is a heavy demonstration on the fact that just because you have young children doesn't mean that they are not perceiving the world, they're not watching you, and that they don't have pretty much a good grasp, actually, on your tomfoolery. They really do. We underestimate kids in the Black community. I'm not going to hold you. We underestimate them bad, too. We think children just idiots. Like, we think kids are stupid. And they're absolutely not. But I'm not gonna waste too much time. Let me go right to the video. Here we go.
Why do you feel like I'm a single mother?
I mean, you pretty, but you fuss too much.
Now, I guess you gonna be a single mother too. Then
I ain't gonna be no single mother like mama.
What? What's wrong with being a single mother?
I ain't finna mess around with no 3 kids.
Okay, why do you think I'm a single mom?
Because you work for free.
I work for free. I work Monday through Friday. And how do you feel like I work for free?
Because you broke.
Alrighty. Now, last not least now, don't say nothing crazy. But why do you feel like I'm a single mom?
because you don't be yourself.
How do you feel like I don't be myself?
That's not
even your real hair.
I can wear a wig if I want to.
Yeah, but without a wig, you like a grown man.
So Nala, why do you?
Now, that little boy said the roast was real when he said without that wig, you look like a grown man. See, the way I would have cried walking back to my bedroom. But aside from the little kid, because the little kid gonna roast you, listen, this is why Black people have historically not asked their children nothing, and they don't want their children talking to them. And we've termed that as disrespect if children tell us what they think. And sometimes it can be disrespectful, but not all the time. All the time, a child's opinion and their feedback is not disrespectful. It's going to be honest, and it's going to be brutally so. Because if we talking about young kids, they don't really have a sense of guile and tact. So as children, they don't really operate from a space of trying to be tactful with what they say. They're just going to say it out of their mouths because it's the truth and it's apparent to them. So they have not yet developed the ability for guile yet. And so on the one hand, I applaud her for asking her children's feedback. I don't know what she thought they were going to say, but they seem to be rather close in age. And this is a talk that they've had. This is a sibling. They have held many sibling meetings about their mom and how they live and however they perceive that. So they was ready with the answers. So I don't know what prompted this or what prompted her to ask her children their feedback, but on the one hand, aside from her obvious tomfoolery that she been going through being a single mom of 3, she has asked for their feedback. Hopefully she take it because her children had valuable feedback for her. And I hope that she doesn't write it off as disrespectful and therefore She doesn't have to listen to what her children told her. They gave her valuable feedback. She didn't give them much though, which indicates that she's not able to really give them the leg up in life that they gonna need. The first setback she did was not provide them a stable father in the home. That's the first big step back, a setback that she gave them. Secondly, when her little girl, when she asked her daughter why she thinks she's a single mom, her daughter said, "You're pretty, but you fuss too much," i.e., "You're cute, mom. You can attract men. I know that you can, but you have a bad attitude and a bad mouth." Then the little brother, the one right there, says, "Well, you're going to be single then too." Now, why does he say that? He says that because he notices that the girl is probably picking up the sassiness of her mom, the sassy mouth, right? She's probably picking that up from her mother. And so the little boy's observation was, well, if you think that's why mom's single, then you're going to be a single mom too because you're pretty with a sassy mouth. Ah, the astute observations of children. The astute observations of children. Don't ask no kid nothing, boy. You gonna get what you never bargained for. You gonna bite off more than you can chew. Asking kids what they actually think, and then once you tell them that they're not gonna be punished for what they say, and you really do want their opinion, their brutally honest opinion, you gonna get it, and you gonna cry in the car after they give it to you, because they're a little kid to give you that, and then wonder why you don't get them fruit snacks later on when they're watching cartoons. Like, you understand what I'm saying? That, like, they don't get why you would feel bad. You asked. You see what I'm saying? And so she looks at her brother after he says that, and she says, "I'm not going to be a single mom like mom." She already understands that she doesn't want to follow in her mother's footsteps. She's likely to follow in her mother's footsteps, statistically speaking. So when her mother doesn't tell her, here's the other part. Her mother doesn't say, "That's right, baby. Don't be a single mom like me." She doesn't say that. She tries to excuse it. Well, what's wrong with being a single mom? Everything. And that little girl looked at her, and it was a look of, "Do you really want this smoke?" And then she came up with something that she thought her mother could handle. I guarantee you there was another brutal thought behind that question, and that's why she paused. And then she came up with, "I'm not going to be messing around with 3 kids." I can almost guarantee you that girl was thinking, "I'm not going to be messing around with all these men that you mess with." But she knew that would probably get her a spanking, that level of observation. So she said, "I wouldn't be messing with the 3 kids." I guarantee you that little girl thought that. I was a little girl. I was a little girl. And we be having some interesting thoughts as little girls. Our female nature is our nature. And we be making certain observations about it. And we definitely will observe if our mother have men and we think it's too many. We definitely come up with a thought about her that we know intrinsically we can't say to her. Right? So then she asks this son here about it. And he said, "You work for free." Right? She says, "Well, I work all the time." You see, he said, "But you broke." "Yeah, but you broke." So we struggle financially. That was his response. "We struggle financially from you." That's what we do. That's why, I mean, you're a single mom, you're struggling. Like, nobody wants a struggle like you struggling. Got us struggling, actually. Because I be wanting the new PS5 games and can't get them. See what I'm saying? Right? And then the last boy, she had to say, "Don't say nothing crazy," because he's probably the most brutally honest one. Even his brother was like, "Don't." Yeah, you know? She said, "Why not?" And then the youngest one, or the last son, I don't know if he's the youngest. He says, "You're not yourself." She said, "What you mean I don't be being myself?" He said, "That's not even your help." A little boy. He not dating nobody. He know that's his mama wig. He said, underneath, when you don't have that wig on, you look like a grown man, because she not taking care of her hair. She probably always got it, you know what I'm saying, cornrow down. They don't never see her in her natural state, observing her own beauty. They don't see her loving herself the way that she is. So he may not be able to articulate that point. But what he's telling her is, you don't love you. You don't even like you. You don't even value your own beauty. So how's a man gonna do it? How are you gonna get into a relationship? Right? The feedback of these children was gold. And it is gold not only for their mother, but for so many single mothers out here. I guarantee you the feedback will be similar or worse than that they get from their kids if they had an ounce of the courage to ask their children and to not, punish them afterwards, and just let the children speak. A child can speak freely and not be disrespectful. This was a perfect example of children being able to talk and articulate. We don't give our kids a chance to say nothing to us. We want them to do as we tell them and not as we do in front of them, and that doesn't work. That's not how children work. That's not how it works at all. They do what they see, not what you say. What you say has little weight if what you do is contrary to what you say. The only time what you say has weight is when what you do goes along with it. In other words, your words got to match your actions in front of kids in order for children to take your word with weight. Other than that, they're gonna go by what you do, and they will spot a hypocrite a mile away. And then they won't respect you. If your children feel like you hypocritical, they not gonna respect you. Now, they may not say that to you, but they not gonna respect it because you're a hypocrite. This is why some kids get rebellious, because you can't tell me. What you telling me? You do all the foolishness you tell me don't do, and you know what I'm saying? And it's not about, well, I'm grown and you're not. It's this is like human, this is like character stuff. Like, your character's bad, and then you want me to have good character, and then you chastise me about, you see what I'm saying? That's where children's minds go. That's where their mind go. This was golden. If she takes her children's feedback to become a better woman, and for them, she'll be doing them such a big favor by becoming a better mom and a better woman. Especially modeling, and man, I can't even say especially for her girls, because the modeling of a mother is so important for daughters and sons. And they're letting her know respectfully, you're not a good model and you're not a good mom. We love you. We love you. But you got a lot of issues that we have seen. These children are what? 7? What? Anywhere from like what? These are young kids. So the youngest is probably no younger than about 6. Something like that. So they're like 6, 7, maybe 8. Sometimes children are small for their age. Right? I wouldn't put them at 10. I don't think any of these children are 10 years old. These are little kids. Precious little kids too. Cute little kids. Smart children. Observant children. Women, your kids observe you. Talking about what's wrong with being a single mama. Everything. That little girl looked at her mama like, for real? Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.